My name's Steve. This is, of course, classified captures, missile launches, aliens, apparitions, interdimensional beings. Today we got a lot of hard-to-find clips from the internet, and we're sending them to you because we love you. What would you do if you were going home and suddenly witnessed this?
I think there's someone in there.
Just so we're on the same page, you're familiar with those recycling bins placed around the neighborhoods for people to donate old clothes and bags, right? Well, this is one of them. But clothes ain't supposed to roll out of their own accord, yet that's what we see here. From a distance, it looks like someone inside the bin was pushing sacks of clothes back out through the opening. Thinking someone might be inside, maybe stealing clothes or hiding in there, she called out. But there was no response. Then she got closer, then remained cautious. After many call-outs and attempts to record the individual within the bin, she became convinced that there was no one in there. She even carefully checked the bin and stood there for a while. The bin itself didn't appear to have any mechanism that could push items out on its own. Nothing looked broken or tampered with, and yet the clothes had clearly been forced out. A quick review of the clips she recorded earlier showed what looked like a hand pushing the clothes out of the bin. She shared the clip online and received varying feedback. Some people thought it could be a paranormal being at work, perhaps the spirit of someone who died there or was disposed of there, or even a cursed item mixed in with the donated clothes. As ominous and interesting as that sounds, there are some who believe that the whole thing is obviously staged or some kind of prank. Well, you've seen it with your own eyes now, so what do you say?
I think there's someone in there. Is there someone in there? Can't even see.
Anyone who's ever lived with a pet has felt this, that quiet curiosity about what's really going on inside their head, especially when they stare at you for more than a few seconds. We talk to them like they understand every word. We wait, ask questions, and sometimes it almost feels like they're able to answer. And now that idea might not be as far-fetched as it once sounded. An artificial intelligence continues to evolve. Scientists are beginning to explore something that feels straight out of science fiction. Mapping neural pathways, studying animal sounds, behaviors, and brain signals. The goal is simple but unsettling: to translate animal communication into something humans can actually understand. If that becomes possible, imagine the implications. Asking your dog what the house was like when you were gone, hearing a cat casually reveal everything you would rather keep private. Sounds funny on the surface, but the more you think about it, the stranger it becomes. We may be approaching a future where animals do not just react to us, but respond with intention, with thoughts, with opinions. And when that day comes, the real question will not be whether we can understand them. It'll be whether we're ready to hear what they have been thinking all along. I won't even get into the possibility of them being trained for espionage. You know what? Let's just move on, okay? Ah, man. I don't see anything wrong with this at all. I'd love to be able to talk to animals. Finally get to be Dr. Doolittle, or, as I would probably be called, Dr. Do Me a Little. Have you ever been in the bathroom having a shower when you suddenly notice the window opening up by itself? Well, me neither, but, well, that's exactly what happens in this clip. This happened as the lady was taking a shower. In the beginning, she assumed it was something that she was just seeing in her mind, but after a few seconds of filming, she realized this was actually happening. She tried to pay attention and see if perhaps there was someone skillfully and stealthily moving the glass. This observation only needed to last a few seconds for her to draw her conclusions. There was no one there. So how was this happening? Well, we're not exactly sure. A part of her believes her home is haunted, and a part of her believes someone might be screwing with her using means she doesn't understand yet. But what do you think?
What? What?
A demon's responsible for depression, and before you answer, pay attention to this clip. To provide a bit of context, this image was taken during an evening out on the town. By that, I mean the men in the picture had gone out one night to have fun when they took this picture. What was supposed to be a nice time out quickly turned into something else. Moments before this photograph was taken, one of the young men started feeling odd. He felt heavy with all sorts of emotions he didn't understand. These were not good emotions, by the way, but he attributed them to stress and tiredness. That's at least the case until he and his friends saw the picture. After taking the picture, they saw this dark entity attached to him. The immediate conclusion was that it was a demon attached to the place. They quickly left the venue, hoping whatever it was would leave them alone. Everyone else was having a great evening, with the exception of the man who had the dark thing behind him. Sleep paralysis, suicidal thoughts, pain, heaviness. He experienced it all. He then uploaded the image online asking if anyone could help him. There were a lot of comments, but not one that could particularly bring him relief. Can anyone here help out? The last time I saw something like this, I was watching a movie, but the uploader of this image expects me, or rather us, to believe that this is the real deal. He himself believes this is a Dogman paw print, and many in the community agree with him. Personally, I've yet to see the Dogman myself, so I can't confirm its authenticity. Some animal experts have disputed it, though. They disagree that this looks like a canine print. Some have even suggested that it might be a dinosaur print. We don't know where this was captured, so we're unable to narrow down our list of candidates, but some have argued it might be a bear. Anyone out there can help us out? What if the fires in Patagonia were not just a disaster, but part of a much larger question? In early January, wildfires ripped through southern Argentina, destroying tens of thousands of acres. Officials blamed heat, drought, and human negligence. But just before the fires, forest protections were weakened, restrictions on foreign ownership were loosened, and laws that once blocked development or resource use after fires were rolled back. Burned land could now be legally repurposed, a detail critics quickly flagged. Then came the allegations. Online investigators and local witnesses claimed Israeli nationals were seen mapping land before and after the fires. Others pointed to reports of Israeli-made grenades allegedly found in affected areas. Though authorities have not confirmed their origin, social media also spread claims that an Israeli man was arrested while allegedly starting fires, a claim that remained unproven. A volunteer firefighter added to the suspicion, stating the fire did not behave like a natural wildfire or an accident. At the same time, Argentina's president visited Israel, including the Wailing Wall. An advisor named Damien was also alleged to have said the problem with Patagonia is that Argentines are living there. A remark critics say echoes dangerous historical rhetoric. These claims tap into older fears. Before Israel was established, some Zionist figures considered Argentina as a possible homeland. Patagonia is also often described as one of the safest places on Earth during a nuclear conflict due to its isolation and resources. None of this proves intent or coordination, But when deregulation, fire, foreign interest, and political timing collide, well, suspicion grows. Whether this is a coincidence, climate chaos, or something more deliberate is still unknown. Question carefully what you choose to believe and share. And just like that, we're back to clips that looked like they were captured on a potato. I know you guys don't like these sorts of clips, but do bear with me. Sometimes they're the exact kind that capture things we normally wouldn't see. Speaking of things not normally seen, what do you think this is? The uploader was going through the woods when he noticed something moving a short distance from him. Instead of retreating because it could be a predator, he took out his camera to film. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for this footage and all, but he could have easily lost his life. Thankfully he didn't. But now he wants answers. What exactly did he capture here? Some think it's an albino monkey, some think it's a large spider. So you've seen the clip for yourself. What conclusion do you come to? Now, if you love bacon, you might want to think twice before your next bite. The World Health Organization has classified processed meats like bacon, ham, and sausage as Group 1 carcinogens, the same category as tobacco, smoke, and asbestos. Studies tracking hundreds of thousands of people show that just 50 grams a day, about a couple of bacon strips or a hot dog, can increase your risk of colorectal cancer. That does not mean bacon is as deadly as cigarettes, but the link is strong and backed by decades of evidence. So why have governments not acted as they did with tobacco? Some experts say big meat companies and nitrate preservative industries influence guidelines and downplay the risks. Chemicals in cured meats turn into cancer-linked compounds in your gut, yet remain legal and common. Bacon tastes amazing, yeah, we know that, but are we paying a hidden price? How am I ever gonna stop eating bacon? I don't smoke, I don't really drink very much. Well, I do, I love a good cigar, but, Cuban, of course. Yeah, I ain't gonna stop eating bacon. Sorry. Have you ever seen a tree spirit? No? Well, today you're in luck. Watch carefully. Did you catch that? There's a humanoid creature looking down from the trees. I'm not sure if it's just me, but this creature does look feminine. It reminds me of nymphs. If you're unfamiliar with them, nymphs are nature spirits and specific types called dryads, are tree spirits in Greek mythology. They represent the life force and beauty of trees, especially oaks, though the term later covered spirits of various trees. I know what you're thinking. Can we trust this clip? The truth is, well, I'm not really certain. The uploader swears it's real, but the paranormal community thinks otherwise. They feel it's a doctored footage in an attempt to achieve internet fame. But come on, we're the Classified Captures gang. We've seen the clip. I know what I think, but what do you think? Was that really his aim? Or game? A woman living in Mexico recently shared a series of photographs that she says have left her convinced she's not alone. She believes her home is being haunted, not because of strange noises or feelings, but because of what her security cameras have been capturing. Across multiple recordings, the same figure appears again and again. It looks like a woman wearing a white gown with long black hair completely covering her face. In most of the footage, the figure is seen standing in the yard, usually in the backyard, completely motionless as if frozen in place. But one image changed everything. In a single photograph, the figure appears almost transparent and seems to be standing on the roof of the house. That moment is what convinced her this might be something far more than a shadow, lighting issue, or a camera glitch. She shared the images with her family and opinions quickly split. Some believe reflections or lighting could explain it. Others say the repeated appearance of the same figure makes it harder to dismiss. Now the images are out there, and the question is no longer hers alone. So what do you think we're looking at here? Do morgues give you the creeps too? The clip on your screen was recorded during a training session in the facility. It was going all too well until the one filming noticed a shadow in one of the rooms. Perplexed, she goes to check it out because they were supposed to be alone. Sure enough, she confirms that they are alone. There was truly no one in the other room, yet somehow she caught something or someone on camera. She tried to think nothing of it, but then again, they were in a morgue surrounded by the dead. This sent shivers down her spine, leading her to upload this online. Whew. What do you think she captured while filming?
¿Viste eso? Mirá, mirá, mirá. Adri, mirá, mirá, mirá. ¿No viste lo que pasó? No. Filmando para la jornada de
How many cameras are enough for the home? 1, 2, 3? Well, let's answer that after this clip. In the clip, we see a woman caring for her baby when she hears a voice. Thinking it's her husband, she starts talking to him casually. When she doesn't get a response, she starts calling out to him. She then decides to call via phone, and when she does, she confirms her husband isn't home. That realization scared her a bit, but it also got her asking who was out there, and she gets no response. Then the teddy falls, and a few other things start moving around in the room. Naturally, this freaks her out, and the clip ends shortly after. Now, when she uploaded the clip online, some sect of the paranormal community believed we're dealing with a poltergeist. Another sect also believed this was most likely a ghost. Julius and his people also believed that these were not otherworldly beings at all. To them, this was purely staged for the views and engagement. Remember my question about cameras? It turns out they've lots of cameras around their property that captured things from different angles. And that made me ask the question. To some, that's just proof they're doing this for content. To others, it's normal to have many cameras for safety reasons. Again, what say you?
Dear. Are you home? What the fuck, baby? Are you home? Baby, come on, stop fucking with me. Stop fucking with me, baby. Baby, come on, come home, because I'm starting to get...
The clip on your screen might be AI generated, but the story behind it is not. Long before ships ruled the seas or maps tried to explain the unknown, coastal communities spoke of a wanderer carried not by wood or sail, but by a colossal turtle so vast it looked like drifting land. What makes this stranger is that versions of the story appeared in cultures separated by enormous distances. Each one describes the same impossible image. A lone human figure standing atop a cracked stone-like shell, moving steadily across open water. Sailors claim the sea behaves differently around it. Currents seem to bend, storms form to dissolve nearby, as if the ocean itself recognized something far older than time beneath the waves. The man himself was never described as a king or an explorer. He was remembered as a survivor. According to fragments of oral tradition, he was chosen after a great flood erased entire civilizations, left behind to witness the world begin again. Wherever the creature touched land, settlements later appeared, almost as if its journey marked places of hidden importance. And when the man finally vanished, the turtle did not die or wash ashore. It simply descended beyond the horizon, carrying with it what some believe was a living memory of the old world. Even today, sailors report islands that seem to drift against the tide and distant land masses that appear to breathe at dawn. Which leaves one unsettling question. Are these just myths passed down through time, or echoes from an age where the Earth itself was still alive and moving? If the first thing you thought when you saw this image was a blurry photo of Earth, you're not alone. At a glance, it looks familiar, almost comforting. But that is not our planet at all. What you're looking at is Titan, one of Saturn's largest moons, captured by NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. And the reason it appears so foggy and washed out is that Titan is wrapped in a dense atmosphere filled with drifting methane clouds. Those clouds scatter light as it passes through, creating the soft, hazy effect, like an aerial photography taken through thick mist. It's unsettling in a quiet way, something that looks so Earth-like yet exists in a place where humans could never survive. That is what makes Titan so strange. It feels familiar, but it's completely alien, reminding us how easily the universe can blur the line between what we know and what we've never truly seen. Are microwaves safe to use? Well, the world is divided on this one. There are some who are labeled conspiracy theorists who believe that the radiation from microwaves is harmful to our bodies. There are some who also state that there is no harmful radiation from a microwave. Information out there is confusing, and the man on your screen believes he's cracked the code by the symbol. I hope you guys know the symbol on your screen is usually used to warn against harmful radiation, and if that's the case, well then why does the center plate of most microwaves look like that? Coincidence? Nah, he doesn't believe so. What say you?
No. No, man. Stop. No, it's not true. That is not true. Shh. Shut up! It's not a game.
If you keep looking into people's homes, one day you'll see something you aren't supposed to see. These words from my grandma seemed exaggerated at the time, but at least I never saw what's on your screen. If you're confused by what I mean by that, allow me to explain. This was captured by a young lady on her way back home. She noticed something or someone in the attic of a house on her usual path home. From the footage, you can tell she zooms in a lot to give us the shot. Once she zoomed in enough, you can see what looks like an apparition looking outside the house. It turns out people in the neighborhood have always suspected there was something out of the ordinary going on in that house. To many in the neighborhood, this is proof. What say you?
The car looks like a pencil.
If you've been part of this community for a while, you've probably heard the theory that some of the technology we use every day doesn't actually work the way we told it does. The idea is simple but unsettling. These machines do not rely entirely on fuel, but instead use hidden mechanisms that tap into a form of near-infinite energy, far beyond what we're taught. One of the most talked about examples is aeroplanes. Usually these theories focus on military aircraft, but the man on your screen is looking at something much closer to home: commercial planes, the ones carrying everyday civilians across the world. We're told planes run on jet fuel stored in the wings, and that fuel alone keeps them in the air. But what if that's not the full picture? There's a theory claiming that when you really study jet engines, their design closely resembles pillars found in certain ancient Indian temples. These pillars are said to rotate and move, and many believe they were part of ancient energy systems designed to draw power from the air, the atmosphere, or even water itself. According to this idea, ancient civilizations understood energy in ways we've either forgotten or choose to hide. Some believe modern technology uses the same principles, only disguised behind a fuel-based explanation. The theory further suggesting that corporations would never allow this knowledge to become public because fuel production is far too profitable. Supporters also point to the numbers. A commercial airplane is said to carry around 64,000 gallons of jet fuel. When people try to visualize how massive that amount really is, questions start to form about how it all fits inside a plane. Some argue the fuel is pressurized, others believe fuel is mainly used during takeoff, and once cruising altitude is reached, the plane relies more on turbine systems and ancient principles. Sounds unbelievable, maybe it is, but theories like this refuse to disappear, and that raises one final question. Is this just another internet conspiracy, or are there more behind our technology than we've ever been told?
Missile.
What do you mean? Go to the house right now.
Holy shit.
What the hell do you think that is? For a bit of context, this was recorded in Southern California in January 2026. There's not just one video, but multiple ones of the same evening, and it's got the paranormal community talking. Not sure if you can tell, but there's something streaking across the sky in a consistent straight line. doesn't look like it's changing direction, and no one really knows what it is. When I first saw the clip online, I assumed it was SpaceX, but a little research proved that SpaceX didn't have anything going on at the time this was recorded. I checked for eyewitness accounts, and a number of them stated that they believed this was a missile launch. Yeah, well, for the first time in a long time, the masses didn't think we were dealing with aliens. But take a good look at the clip and share your thoughts.
Missile.
What do you mean? Go to the house right now.
Holy shit.
Go home right now.
Dude, either that or it's a meteor.
What comes to mind when you see this man? If you said Cyclops, you wouldn't be alone. I mean, he has just one eye. I know there are cases of people born with various physical differences, like one leg or extra limbs due to defects or genetic variations, but in this case, it's tempting to let the imagination wander a bit. Could this be a modern-day Cyclops in the making? In Greek mythology, Cyclops were giants with single, large eyes in the center of their foreheads. They're often depicted as powerful and sometimes menacing beings. In the modern world, however, when it comes to individuals born with a single eye, it's typically a result of a congenital condition known as cyclopia. Cyclopia is a rare and serious birth defect where during the early stages of development the baby forms only one eye instead of the usual two. It happens when the eye sockets don't fully separate like they should while the embryo is growing. So yes, this man can be called a Cyclops, except he's not a giant. On second thoughts, I don't think it'll be nice to call him that, assuming the video isn't actually a hoax, but do let us know what you think. Someone filmed this strange creature in the woods. At first glance, you'd see a Sasquatch, but a second look will reveal it's its canine cousin, if you can call it that. Many who saw it are convinced we're dealing with the Dogman, and looking at it, I can understand why they think that. The creature looks a lot like Husky, if you know what I mean. This also has got some talking in the paranormal community that we could be dealing with a werewolf instead. There are some who also believe that this is a hoax. Yes, by some, I mean our good old skeptics. But what do you guys think? Is this a genuine encounter with a cryptid, or is this simply an attempt to mislead us? Share your thoughts. I've always wondered what a person's final moments feels like, and this footage adds another layer to the curiosity. A family had set up a surveillance in a room to monitor their elderly grandfather. What they captured is truly mysterious. As the grandfather was lying on his bed or sofa, a strange light appeared near him. At first, you might think it's just a reflection. After all, the footage is recorded from a phone monitoring the care camera. But then something eerie happens. The old man, visibly weak, actually turns his head toward the light, acknowledging its presence. The light seems to float around him for a while, as if it's observing him, and then the clip ends. What could this have been? A reflection, or perhaps something more spiritual? A man came across a truly fascinating tree while walking through his property, and honestly, it's one of the moments where nature just leaves you in awe. The tree was massive, its trunk firmly rooted deep into the soil. But what made it so unique was that on one side of the tree, there was this thick branch, though calling it a branch, well, might be an understatement. It was like a whole other tree sprouting out of the main one. This branch wasn't connected to the ground at all, yet it grew upward just as tall and strong as the primary trunk, stretching toward the sky. It's like the tree was splitting itself in two, creating this beautiful, almost surreal sight. How incredible is that?
But all the weight from this tree is just resting on here. There's nothing, connecting it. So that is one strong trunk.
Now let's dive into another spooky scene. A man and his friend cruising one dark night when suddenly they stumble upon something straight out of a horror movie. So we have about 6 folks decked out in red robes with eerie white masks covering their faces. If you were driving and you saw this, you'd turn around, but not our brave driver. He kept driving, and when they noticed the car, they also didn't run. Instead, they lined up on both sides of the road to allow the cars to drive by. This is an unsettling situation on all levels. The big mystery here, who were those masked figures and why in the world were they standing in the middle of the road? Could they be ritualistic gatherings, or are we dealing with supernatural phenomena? Now, some skeptics are calling foul, saying it's all staged for a scare. But what's your take on this? Is it a spooky encounter with the unknown, or just a well-crafted performance to give everyone a good scare? During heavy rainfall, someone captured this in the night sky. There was a loud screeching sound followed by a loud boo and this strange green laser coming from the sky under the earth. Now the person recording suggests it could be an explosion, but I'm leaning toward alien invasion vibes here. What kind of explosion comes with sound effects and a green laser light show? Are we sure someone didn't accidentally open a portal to another dimension? I'm curious to know your take on this. Explosion or something more extraterrestrial? What you are seeing is Crybaby Tunnel. If you're unfamiliar with it, Crybaby Tunnel is an urban legend associated with several tunnels across the United States, most commonly in Texas and Ohio. The legend typically involves eerie supernatural tales of crying babies or tragic events that supposedly occurred near these locations. In many versions of the story, it's said that if you stop your car in the tunnel at night and turn off its engine, you'll hear the cries of a baby or experience paranormal activity. The origins of the Crybaby Tunnel legend vary, but many revolve around tragic deaths involving a mother and child, either through accidents, abandonment, or even infanticide. Some versions claim that a desperate mother threw her baby off a bridge or into a tunnel, while others suggest a child was hit by a train. Despite the different variations, these locations have become eerie attractions for thrill seekers. The individual filming actually visited the area, and he made some confirmations, including seeing what looks like the remains of a baby. What's more, they actually heard and experienced the baby crying, which caused them to take off. Do you think it's the real deal, or are they just messing with us for content?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Bro. Hell no. I know you guys heard that.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's fuzzy.
Unless I go far away.
You're trying to stay still and push on the parts that aren't
In March, a woman captured a bizarre sight in the night sky. It was a flaming tube extending from the sky to the ground. As she zoomed in, the footage revealed bright orange orbs positioned vertically. This sighting occurred in the US and has left many people puzzled. It's difficult to determine exactly what this could be. Some speculate it's an atmospheric phenomenon related to lighting or plasma, given the fiery appearance. Others lean toward the idea of UFOs, especially with the involvement of the glowing orbs. But these are all just situations that have not been proven. So the question still remains, what exactly are we looking at?
Sucks.
Yeah, it's fuzzy.
Unless I go far away.
So the owner of a remote property sets up her surveillance camera for safety, and what does it capture? A strange entity zooming across the camera. This entity was in a long robe that swept the floor and covered it from head to toe. In its head, some of the robes were even flying in the air as the entity moved. Now, the property owner was very alarmed when he saw the footage. This entity looked very weird, and its movements were very eerie, almost as if it was floating and gliding at the same time. What do you reckon it could be? Please do share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. A trail camera captured this creature in the woods. This has to be a bipedal wolf-like creature. That's a lot of words jumbled up together, but I know you get me. Just look at its snout and hairy body. From the waist down, it appears to be human. The darkness makes it hard to see, but we can see enough. I mean, take a look at its knee. So what could it be? Well, two things come to mind. The first originates from spooky stories and folklore, suggesting it might be a werewolf or a dogman. You know, the creatures that often show up in eerie tales. The weird features of this creature kind of support that idea. Aaron believes it's definitely a dogman, and I can't argue with him on that. The second thing that comes to mind has to do with the more skeptical folks. Some were already in the original post asking, hey, could this be a person in a costume pulling off a prank in the deep, dark forest? Instead of arguing these things out, tell us what you think. Dogman, costume, hoax? Be blunt. We'll be reading in the comments. Here we have another footage of the strange noise from the sky. In this video footage, a woman records a loud and strange noise coming from the sky outside her home. Curious and slightly unnerved, the woman went outside to record the sound. The noise continued for a while before eventually stopping. Some few moments later, it began again, and she went outside to record it once more. These sounds are haunting and eerie. Some people believe these sounds could be linked to the end of the world as described in the Bible. Specifically, they point to the sound of the trumpet as a sign of the apocalypse. However, others believe that there could be other explanations for these strange occurrences. What are your thoughts, though? Do you believe that these sounds could be a sign of the end of times, or do you think that there are other explanations for these strange occurrences? There are theories of strange chemicals in our air and even metals. Could that be why this group of individuals are standing out with metal detectors in their hands? It sounds weird, but the original posts seem to suggest so. As you can see in the footage, these people are all standing outside on a field, holding metal detectors above their heads with hope of detecting any metal. However, as you listen to the footage, you can hear these strange sounds coming from the devices. But looking at the devices, are they not beeping because they're detecting each other? The devices are made of metal. However, a commenter made this comment. As someone who has metal detected as a hobby for 4+ years, they aren't going off because of metal in the air. The reasons all the detectors are going off is because they're ringing off of each other. This happens all the time and is very annoying if you're metal detecting with someone else in a small space. This is another fear lingering post. While there may be some theories about the presence of strange metals or chemicals in our atmosphere, this particular exercise may not be the best way to verify such claims. Still on heavenly bodies, this footage was recorded from the International Space Station. And what do we see? Strange glowing orbs just hanging out up there. Now the big question is, are we dealing with some kind of extraterrestrial craft, or are these orbs actually celestial entities? The space around Earth is populated with satellites, space debris, and other objects. Glowing lights could be reflections of these objects, especially when caught in the sunlight. But we cannot rule out the possibility of extraterrestrial crafts out there, because just like Nibiru, there might be some truth to these conspiracies, or do you think I'm losing it at this point? Stepping away from the height department, let's take a look at this smooth heist. Two thieves roll up to someone's place, and one of them is wielding an antenna. Now, you might be thinking, what's with the antenna? Well, these crafty folks are using it to boost the connection between the car inside the house and the electric car parked outside. So as soon as they get the connection, the car opens and they can drive away with it like they own it. Now, to outsmart these high-tech bandits, the tip is to keep your car keys in a metal container or a special pouch away from your car. Those who leave their keys by the door are basically giving these thieves a VIP pass to a free ride. At least, that's what Julius told me. Can anyone confirm this?
What's that? Can you hear that noise? What is that?
8 years ago, a YouTube channel, Marty Dennison, posted this footage online. It was strange trumpet noises echoing from the sky. The whole household came to listen to it, and this was in Sydney. The phenomenon was, however, heard in various parts of the world. But what are these sounds, and why are people hearing them all over the world? Well, I did some digging and came across some information. According to the American Academy of Audiology, they are called skyquakes. While numerous theories have been proposed to explain the phenomenon, there is still no definitive explanation that has been universally accepted by researchers. Some of the most prominent of theories state that skyquakes could be caused by seismic activity such as earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Another possibility is that they're caused by atmospheric changes like thunder or lightning. It's also possible that they may be caused by the interaction of ocean waves with the Earth's crust. Some people have suggested more unconventional explanations for skyquakes, including sonic booms generated by military aircraft or atmospheric disturbances caused by electromagnetic phenomena. Despite the many ideas that have been put forward, skyquakes remain a mystery. What do you make of the whole thing?
What is that? So scary.
Next, we visit a beach in Venezuela where a peculiar phenomenon occurred. The sand on the beach was seen to be shifting and rumbling, creating a commotion among the people present. As the ground opened up, it revealed a strange-looking object that appeared to be rising from beneath the sand. The object was massive, and its shape was difficult to discern due to the sand still clinging to it. There are many speculations about what it could be. Some suggested that it could be nothing but a natural disaster, perhaps a landslide or earthquake waiting to happen. A few people speculated that it could be some creature living underground that was coming out to the surface. Some even went as far as suggesting that it could be an alien ship emerging from the sand. In the absence of any official report, the incident remains a mystery, and people continue to speculate about what it could have been. Having seen the clip, what do you think we're dealing with? We've heard of the Fountain of Youth and know loads about it, but has any one of you ever heard about a miracle rock? No? Well, watch this clip. Someone burns this strange black stone and a clear liquid appears. Then they smear it on a cut on their hand, which appears to have a cut on it. After a few seconds, the cut closes up. Imagine how many lives we could help if this was real. Well, according to the one who uploaded this footage, it exists and it's called the Bangfa Stone. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either, but they claim it's found in the Amazon forest and has great healing properties. I mean, we'd be doing extensive research into this, so subscribe and like if you haven't already. But until the findings of our research are out, what do you think? Is this real, or do you believe it's a hoax? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Está flotando este pájaro. No se mueve. Dios mío, ¿qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto?
Here's a curious tale. This man stumbled upon a bird stuck mid-air in the sky. The bird is just hanging there, wings spread wide, not moving an inch. Before we start questioning reality, there might be a simpler explanation. Birds, especially hawks or eagles, sometimes catch rising air currents to stay suspended without flapping much. It's their way of saving energy while keeping an eye on things. So even though it might feel like a scene from a sci-fi movie, there's a good chance it's just a bird taking a break up there. I know it's a big stretch, but well, who knows? Aaron believes it's a glitch in the Matrix, but share your thoughts too.
Hello? Hey, no, stay there. Hey. Oh my God. Dude. It's okay. It's okay.
The man behind this camera had woken up in the middle of the night to the sound of his dog barking in the living room. Concerned, he got out of bed to check it out, but what he found was unsettling. There, sitting on his couch, was someone, a figure in the dim light. But here's the thing, he lives alone. No one else should have been in his house. So who or what was that? The man panicked. You could even hear it in his voice as he called out to the figure. The figure didn't respond. Instead, it slowly stood up and began walking toward him. It moved closer until suddenly, without any warning, the person just vanished into thin air just like that. Gone. I would have freaked out, but the man kept his cool. Maybe this sight is the first time he's seen strange things like this in his house, but still, it's very unsettling. What would you have done in this situation?
Hello? Hey, no, stay there. Hey. Oh my God. Dude. It's okay. It's okay.
There have been numerous reports of strange and puzzling weather phenomena lately, and these clips are a prime example. The first clip was recorded in Saskatchewan. It shows a massive, thick cloud of smoke that appears almost solid due to its density. Some have speculated it might be from a nearby volcano, but it's unclear if there are even any volcanoes in that region. The mystery deepens as no one can pinpoint the source of the smoke. The second clip comes from a resident in Washington state. She stepped out of her house to witness an unsettling sight. A large murder of crows circling a particular area in the sky. The birds seem fixated on one spot, and no one has been able to explain what might have drawn them there. Finally, the last clip is from Chicago, where a resident noticed something unusual in the sky. The clouds were swirling in a spiral, almost resembling the formation of a tornado. But despite the ominous movement, the formation never touched the ground, leaving viewers puzzled. The phenomenon didn't seem to follow typical weather patterns, making it all the more questionable. So what could these strange weather occurrences mean? Are we witnessing something unusual happening in the natural world? Culture varies from place to place, and sometimes some might seem unique. Take a look at this footage, for instance. In the clip, we see a group of men gathered around a pot of sizzling food. Things take a bizarre turn when the guy in the center dips his hand into the hot oil and then casually puts it in his eye. As if that's not strange enough, he tilts his head in this weird position, giving everyone around a front row seat to the unusual spectacle. It looks like a street performance, but it clearly isn't. That's left many in the community asking what could be going on there, but no one can say for sure, but we can speculate. Some state that there's a possibility it's nothing more than a cultural presentation, while some think they have made pacts with God protecting them. Our skeptics like Julius, however, believe the whole thing is a hoax meant to steal money out of the pockets of the gullible. You've seen it yourself. What do you think? Whoa, talk about an unexpected aerial encounter. So someone's up there soaring in a hang glider over the Texas skies, minding their own business, when they spot a craft in the sky that's neither a plane nor a helicopter. The owner of the footage thinks it's a Metapod UFO. Now, Metapod or not, the big question remains, what in the world could this craft be? Is it a secret government project, an experimental aircraft, or maybe just some intergalactic tourists making a pit stop in Texas? What's your take on this airborne enigma? Alien visitors, a high-tech experiment, or just a really fancy drone with a flair for the dramatic? A passerby in an unknown location caught something on camera that left everyone scratching their heads. It was a silhouette of what looked like a person floating down from the sky. It wasn't like a regular landing, though. It gently touched down on the side of a building, holding on with one hand like it was no big deal. But here's where it gets even weirder. On the other hand, it started making strange, deliberate movements, almost like it was controlling something. Above it, this odd object hovered in the air, following the figure's every movement. It's hard to make sense of this. Was it some kind of high-tech stunt, or maybe something more mysterious? Watching the footage, it's easy to feel a little unsettled. What do you think? Next, we visit the woods where a strategically positioned trail camera has captured something rather interesting. Take a look. Who does that look like? The big guy himself, right? If the original post is to be believed, then this is definitely one of the clearest clips we've had of Bigfoot. The individual didn't give us a lot of context or information, so we don't know where this was captured, only that it was captured this year. While some in the community are excited about the capture, there are some who feel the whole thing is a hoax and could have been generated with AI. While I get the concerns, if this is truly real, then it's safe to say that Bigfoot is basically more human-like with fur than that of an ape. Anyway, what do you guys also think? Take a look at this footage that was taken in Ukraine. In it, you can see a house across a green field moving. Did you catch that? A house is moving. Since when do houses move? What if I told you it wasn't a house at all? This, my friends, is an army tank camouflaged as a house. Just imagine being stalked by a house. These guys are certainly taking camouflage to a whole new level, wouldn't you agree? Take a look at this video clip. At first glance, it's just a regular aeroplane making its way across the sky. No big deal, right? But here's where it gets interesting. If you take a closer look in slow motion, there's this mysterious cloaked craft that whooshes by. Even in slow motion, it's moving at a pace that'll make your head spin. Now let's not jump to conclusions and declare it's aliens or anything, but it does make you ponder, doesn't it? There might be some other things up there sharing the vastness of the sky with us. It's like a subtle hint that there's more to our surroundings than meets the eye. What are your thoughts? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Growing up, I always heard some people being called lucky. But being the scientific mind I was in my childhood days, I just thought it was a matter of probability. If the childhood me could see this, he would change his mind. Yes, that's a man shaking uncontrollably, and it appears to be quite severe. At first glance, the reason behind this unusual behavior is unknown, but as the camera panned down, a broken piece of a hand grinder was revealed lying on the ground. As he turned the camera toward his face, we could see the reason behind his tremors. The disc of the hand grinder had become lodged in his cap just a few inches away from his head. This was a very close call, and the man's cap had saved him from what could have been a fatal accident. How's that possible? It's not supposed to be. It's quite remarkable how lucky he is to have escaped unscathed. It was clear from the video that the man was terrified and shaken by the incident, and understandably so. Could this be luck or something more? Share your thoughts. Would you go camping if you knew these guys would be your campmates? In the footage, a camper woke up one night to find a huge spider crawling on his tent on the outside. If you're an arachnophobe, I'm sure it will be hell for you. You can even see the highlights of other insects as well. Wait, did I just call a spider an insect? Spider-Man won't be happy about that. Good thing he's not real. Can you guess where this particular camp is happening? Hint, it's a popular place with the world's most deadly creatures. Yes, you guessed right, Australia. Australia is known for its spiders, some of which can grow to enormous sizes. For instance, the huntsman spider, which is commonly found in Australian homes, can have a leg span of up to 30 centimeters, making it one of the largest spiders in the world. Thinking of it alone is making my stomach churn, but do tell me, what do you think of this camping expedition? Do or pass? Now brace yourself for a peculiar scene. In this footage, where a man gets his mouth wide open, stretched to the max, it's like he's on the verge of throwing up. But here's the kicker. Instead of regular sounds, he's letting out these eerie, otherworldly tones. Hang on, though, because it gets even stranger. According to the source, the man isn't just having a bizarre moment. No. He's apparently in the process of turning into a goat. Yeah, you heard that right. A goat. Now, I'm not a shapeshifter expert, but turning into a goat sounds like the plot of a supernatural drama, and I'm all for it. What's your take on this bizarre transformation? Goat man on the loose, or just a creative hoax in action? Here we've got this van that's causing a stir on the internet. If you're wondering why, take a look.
这个是一个75乘1米的哈，长安款的，福特款的呢？
You see it, don't you? Yeah, that looks like an oven at the back of the van. It should not exist, but there it is. As strange as that is in itself, here's what's puzzling people. The opening is big enough to fit a human in there. The big question on everyone's mind, what on earth could a human-sized oven in the back of a van be for? It's not exactly your typical barbecue setup, so what is it? Some in the community believe it might be a mobile crematorium. Yeah, you heard that correctly, a crematorium on wheels. Could it be truly a crematorium, or is there something that we're missing? Please do share your thoughts in the comments section.
这个是一个75乘1米的哈，长安款的，福特款的呢？
Have you ever wondered what the undersea cable system for our internet looks like? If you have, you're in luck. If you haven't, well, still enjoy this. This is what the connection made for the internet fiber optic cables looks like connected to the sea. Undersea fiber optic cables are like hidden highways under the ocean, made of thin strands of glass or plastic. They carry data using light signals, making communication fast and reliable across long distances. These cables are placed on the ocean floor, often very deep down, connecting continents and countries to form a giant network. Even though they're super important, most people don't even notice them. Putting these cables in place and keeping them working is tough work. Special ships and gear are needed to carefully lay them on the ocean floor and make sure they stay put. They have to be constantly watched and fixed to avoid any problems from nature or people. These cables are a big deal for global communication. They make talking to someone on the other side of the world almost as easy as talking to your neighbor. Without them, the internet and all the connections we rely on wouldn't be possible. Don't believe me? Check with Africa. Most of the continent experienced power problems a few months ago when cables belonging to MTN, one of the continent's biggest communication giants, were damaged. Thankfully, they were able to find a way around it. That should tell you how important these things are. You and I are fortunate to live in a time like this. Never forget that. A homeowner in North Carolina, USA, was reviewing his home surveillance footage when he spotted a strange creature. The creature appeared to have a hairy body and was walking on two legs. Although the camera was positioned downward, it was still obvious that the creature was not human. Its size was significantly smaller compared to the flower pot it walked by. It was definitely not a normal creature, as it did not resemble a rat, cat, or rodent, and was clearly walking on two legs. Interestingly, some viewers pointed out that the creature didn't cast a shadow, which made the sighting even more bizarre. The lack of the shadow made some, including my in-house video editor, think it might be CGI, but we can't prove that now, can we? Some people also suggested that the creature might be a duende, a mythical creature found in Spanish and Latin American folklore. Duendes are known for being small, mischievous beings that look similar to elves or goblins. They're believed to live in natural places such as forests and caves and are regarded as guardians of nature. Depending on their mood or the actions of humans they encounter, they might either help or worry people. However, it's hard to say for sure if the creature in the footage is a duende or something else entirely. What do you think? In the shots inside the car, you see the driver and another person chilling in the front seat. All normal. Now, if you know anything about our channel, it's that we don't do normal and the road shots say it all. Initially, it's just an empty street, but a few seconds later, and bam! Out of nowhere, a strange figure materializes on the road. You can see it in a few pictures, and then it vanishes into thin air. If it were me, I'd be scared out of my wits. Aaron believes this is a legitimate encounter. But what's your take? During an eclipse on October the 4th, 2023, someone managed to capture not just the usual sun and moon show, but another bright sphere hanging out behind the sun. Do you see it? Can you guess its name? No? Well, it's allegedly called Nibiru. I know you might be confused, so let's delve into the Nibiru conspiracy theory. The conspiracy states that there is this made-up planet called Nibiru, or Planet X, and it's supposedly heading straight for Earth, bringing all sorts of disasters with it. But here's the thing, scientists and astronomers have looked into it and they say no real evidence for this planet or any danger of a collision exists. In short, it's a theory that's been widely disapproved by the experts. Now, we all know that the government has been up to no good these days, hiding a lot of information from the public. Who is to say that this is also one of the things they want to hide from us? While you share your thoughts on that, have you ever wondered what your cat thinks of you? Well, this next clip might just hold the answer. So according to this clip that has gone viral since its upload, some scientists have managed to reconstruct what a cat makes of the visual stimuli it sees. When they applied the tech to cats seeing humans, the results were, well, interesting. The clip shows the input or original stimuli on the left and then the cat's vision or interpretation of the stimuli on the right. So we have the input and then the output. Do you see the differences? Naturally, this led to a plethora of responses online. While some were excited about the whole thing, others were very skeptical. Personally, I believe that if tech like this existed, it would be mainstream, as its applications in various sectors, especially health, would be endless. But then again, that's just me. What do you guys think? Back in August, a Tennessee resident shared some eerie footage that has left people wondering. The man said he was just hanging out on his porch one night with a friend when suddenly everything lit up out of nowhere. The footage captured by security cameras doesn't show the sky, unfortunately, but you can see the surroundings light up, almost like something was moving across the area. According to the witness, it was a massive ball of light that appeared and moved across the sky. Despite the lack of other reports or footage, this clip feels genuine. So what could it be? A UFO sighting? Or maybe just an unusual weather phenomenon? What's your take? Hold on to your history books because things are about to get wild. Scientists are on a mission to bring back the woolly mammoth. You know, those giant furry elephants that went extinct ages ago. Now, this information has been going around for a while. It sounds like a fairy tale when it started, but not anymore. These scientists believe that in just 4 years, we could have woolly mammoths casually strolling the earth with us. Sounds unbelievable, I know, but would you be down for some mammoth meet and greet, or is this a bit too much of a Jurassic Park vibe for comfort? Next, we have this towering figure, a real-life modern-day giant. Meet this 24-year-old gentleman who hails from Pakistan and is breaking records in the height department. He stands head and shoulders above the crowd, making quite the impression. It's like he's living in a world of his own up there. Exceptionally tall people often garner attention due to their unique physical characteristics. Human height can be influenced by various factors, including genetics, nutrition, and overall health. But some are naturally tall without any underlying medical conditions. What's your take on this towering individual? A real-life giant, or just someone who's exceptionally good at reaching for the top shelf?
What is that? It's like shaking our entire house.
On September the 20th, 2024, residents of South Lake City, Utah, were rattled by a series of loud, booming sounds that caused panic and confusion. People reported that the noise was so intense that it shook their homes and even led to rocks falling from the nearby canyon. Witnesses describe hearing the rocks tumble. These booming sounds had no clear cause. Some suspected it could have been due to seismic activity or even underground blasts. However, authorities have not yet confirmed the source, which only people were more concerned about. Natural occurrences like rock falls, underground shifts, or even sonic booms from aircrafts are possible explanations, but without an official statement, the cause remains unclear. Has anyone come across more information on what could have caused this? Let us know.
What is that? It's like shaking our entire house.
I'm just trying to cut sponges. And they will not
What the It's magic. Like,
A woman was calmly cutting up yams and placing them into a basket when something truly bizarre started happening. Every time she put a piece of yam into the basket, it would mysteriously float right back out and fall onto the counter. It was as if some kind of invisible force was pushing the yams away. Just look at it. One piece after another seems to defy gravity. It almost feels like there's some kind of anti-gravity force at play. But how could that be possible in such an everyday setting? Is it a glitch in reality or something else entirely? What do you think is causing this strange phenomenon?
I'm just trying to cut sponges. And they will not. What the It's magic. Like.
Brace yourself for this next one. There's a baby with black eyes, and no, it's not some edited clip or visual trick. It's a real baby. Now, we're not talking about the creepy black-eyed kids thing here. So what could be going on? Well, we don't actually know for sure, beyond the fact that the one who sent it in insists he was there when it was recorded. Some folks who saw the clip are guessing that the baby might have experienced some kind of trauma, making the eyes look dark. They speculate it would get better after a few days. Others are saying that perhaps the baby just has larger pupils that will grow into those eyes over time. Now, I haven't heard of that before, but neither has anyone I know seen this before as well. It's one of those things that sparks a lot of speculation and different ideas. This situation, however, is something that has been observed quite frequently in recent times. A lot of recent childbirths result in these babies looking like they're auditioning for a role in an exorcist movie. What do you think could be going on? Wondering what's happening here? Well, this footage is apparently from Texas, and the whole vicinity was closed off because of low oxygen levels. This resulted in thousands of fish washing up ashore. But it didn't end there. Japan also faced the same situation, where fish were also washed up ashore because of low oxygen levels. What on earth is causing this? The truth is, no one could give us a single convincing answer. So is it something environmental, like changes in water conditions or pollution, or could we be dealing with some underwater cosmic event that's got fish feeling breathless? Whatever it is, it's making waves, not the good kind. Have you heard about the innovative building constructed in Japan by the renowned Nendo Studio? This incredible structure has been designed to play a pivotal role in reducing carbon emissions and absorbing CO2 from the environment. The building has been constructed using a special type of concrete known as CO2 suicom, which has been engineered to minimize the release of harmful gases during production. The walls of this house have been made from state-of-the-art concrete, making it a pioneering example of eco-friendly architecture. By embracing technologies like this, we can take a significant step toward mitigating the environmental impact of traditional concrete production. What do you think about the future of construction? Do you see this as a game-changing development in the field? Has the recent AI craze got you worried about computers taking over the world? Well, I hate to do this, but your worries are about to get a whole lot bigger. Intel has just rolled out Hala Point, and it's a big deal in the world of neuromorphic computing. This beast is the largest neuromorphic computer ever made, boasting 1,152 Lothi-2 chips. These chips mimic a whopping 1.15 billion artificial neurons and a mind-boggling 128 billion synapses spread across a whopping 140,544 processing cores. This means it can handle a staggering 20 quadrillion operations per second, which is a huge leap from Intel's previous system, Pohoiki Springs. Hala Point blows it out of the water, offering over 10 times the neuron capacity and up to 12 times higher performance. Why does this matter? Well, it's a game changer when it comes to the hefty computing costs of training AI models. With Hala Point, Intel aims to slash the time and resources needed to train these models. This could mean big improvements in AI applications across industries like healthcare, finance, and transportation. This is a major milestone in neuromorphic computing. Its impressive processing power and massive neuron capacity could change the game for AI training and deployment. It's a sign of exciting things to come in the world of computing. Unless AI goes bad and attacks us, of course, but that will never happen. Right?
Look at that. Call my mom. Where's your phone? Where's your phone? Hurry up. Oh my god. Read it. Here, take a video of it.
On November the 18th, 2023, residents of New Jersey reported an astonishing sight. 5 unidentified crafts hovering in the sky. What made the situation even more peculiar was the fact that these objects were being followed closely by military aircraft. When the matter was brought to the attention of the authorities, they were quick to dismiss the incident as merely a collection of drones. However, on the very same night, at nearly the same time, an eerily similar event unfolded across the country in Tucson, Arizona. A woman spotted an unusual flat object in the sky, glowing with lights arranged horizontally around its perimeter. Now, this raises a compelling question. Are both events connected? Were these truly drones, as officials claim, or is there something more mysterious at play here? The idea that military jets would scramble for mere drones feels unusual, especially when sightings like these are cropping up across the globe. Could these incidents be further evidence of something extraterrestrial, or are they part of a secret military operation cloaked in plausible deniability? It seems there is more to these sightings than meets the eye.
Look at that. Call my mom. Where's your phone? Where's your phone? Hurry up. Oh my god. Read it. Here, take a video of it.
A homeowner by the name of Mike was home alone when something truly unnerving happened. According to him, he started feeling uneasy for no apparent reason. Thankfully, there was a security camera in the room overlooking the staircase area, capturing everything that unfolded. Mike was tidying up, clearing away his toys scattered around the room when suddenly a chilling event occurred. A soft, eerie whisper called his name, Mike. The voice was faint yet unmistakable. The moment he heard it, sheer panic set in. Without a second thought, Mike bolted upstairs, leaving everything behind. Who or what could have called his name? Was it a ghost, a residual spirit, or something even more sinister? A Reddit user recently shared an intriguing image on the platform. The user had bought some blueberries and was enjoying them when she noticed a strange marking on one of the berries. Upon closer inspection, she realized that the marking was a set of numbers, well written and too small to be written by hand. What's more, the numbers seem to be made by a machine, which is unusual as food items are not typically marked with serial numbers. As the image went viral, many people started offering explanations for the strange marking on the berry. Most of the commenters suggested that the berry was attached to the packaging when the company was laser printing on it. His explanation seemed plausible, as laser printing is a common way of marking products with serial numbers. However, some people still wondered if there was something more sinister going on. Such individuals suspected the government might be messing with our foods and changing our bodies. It's possible that the marking on the berry was simply a result of the laser printing process, as many suggested. However, it's also possible that this was a deliberate act and that someone intentionally marked the berry with a serial number. But why? Well, we don't know. That's the mystery. Your thoughts on this are welcome. On the night of April the 4th, 2024, a surveillance camera in Idaho captured an unusual sight in someone's backyard. The footage shows a craft flying over the property which appeared to have 6 vertical lights. Although the camera quality is not great due to the darkness, the lights are clearly visible. The rest of the craft is difficult to make out, leaving the shape and size a mystery. The owner of the footage is convinced that it was a UFO given the current hype around UFO sightings on the internet. However, it's difficult to say for sure what it is without further evidence or analysis. It's possible that it could have been a normal aircraft, but the unusual light formation suggests otherwise. What do you think?
Dementor! Dementor! Do you see them? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's be lightning. I'll tell you what that is, Michael. That's Dementors.
During a live TV broadcast, an unusual event captured viewers' attention. The camera was showing the atmosphere over a scenic stretch of land with clouds rolling in on one side. As the camera panned toward the area, something strange happened. A shadowy, swiftly moving figure glided through the scene, almost too quick to catch at first glance. Its shape was ominous, and its movement sent chills down the spine of those watching. Observers have since referred to it as a Dementor, likening it to the eerie creatures from folklore and fiction. What could this have been? A trick of the light, an optical illusion, or something more mysterious?
Dementor! Dementor! Do you see them? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's be lightning. I'll tell you what that is, Michael. That's Dementors.
Would you visit a cemetery at night? That's a straight no or a yes.
I could have sworn I saw the arm go up. Whoa, wait, no way.
Well, these guys thought it would be a fun idea to take a little trip, an excursion to the cemetery one evening, and were shocked by this. I don't know what they were expecting, but pay attention to the clip. The object in view is supposed to be a statue or something along those lines at the cemetery. If you look clearly, however, you'll notice that it's moving. Do you see it? The last time we checked, statues aren't supposed to move, yet we see one right now moving in ways you wouldn't expect it to. This freaked them out, and they got out of the place as soon as they could. I get the thrill that comes with seeking out these things, but it's one thing to accidentally encounter them and escape, and another to go searching for them hoping to escape. Now, the latter is unwise if you ask me, but, well, hey, each to his own, I guess. Perhaps I'm just cowardly. Okay, on to the next.
Okay, are my eyes playing tricks on me? I could have sworn I saw the arm go up. Whoa, wait, no way.
A man had been hearing strange noises coming from an old shed on his property for days, and naturally his curiosity got the better of him. So he grabbed his camera and went to investigate. While recording, he walks around the shed trying to pinpoint why the noise is coming from, and that's when he stumbles upon something unexpected. Inside a container, nestled away, is a creature. At first glance, it's hard to tell what it is, but as he gets closer, it turns out to be an anteater. Oh, what a relief, right? For all the strange and mysterious things it could have been, it was just a harmless anteater hiding out in his shed. Next up, we've got a sighting that's left hundreds in awe. Take a look. At first glance, this does look like an everyday cloud with no distinct features, but after a few seconds, however, we notice something odd. A face begins to form. Now, whenever we talk about a giant face in the clouds, an omnipotent being comes to mind. Depending on the religion of the one observing, we may hear different names. The one who uploaded this clip thought the face looked a lot like Zeus. If you try hard enough, you'll notice a nose, jawline, and possibly a beard. Now, when you consider the fact that these clouds came up around the time of a storm was expected, then attributing the face of Zeus doesn't seem so crazy anymore. Since we're speaking of Zeus, am I crazy to think there's another face that could be Poseidon? Maybe I'm just overstretching here. You know what? Maybe I am, but let's move on to the next clip.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, it's not a person, bro. Look.
What the fuck is that? That's a hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck, it just disappeared. What the Nope.
A family on vacation in a mountainous region captured something truly eerie. While enjoying the scenic view, they noticed a figure standing among the trees on the mountainside. At first, they thought it was just a person, but then things took a bizarre turn. The figure began a glitch, flickering in and out of sight before finally vanishing altogether. This unsettling sight left the family stunned. It clearly wasn't human, so what could it have been? A supernatural entity? A ghost? Or perhaps something even more otherworldly? I guess we'll never really know unless we visit the place, which neither Aaron nor Julius is willing to do. Oh well.
Hiker.
No, it's not, bro. That's not a person.
That's way bigger than a hiker, bro.
Bro, that's not.
What are you talking about?
Oh, fuck, it just disappeared. What the Nope.
A woman was enjoying a peaceful day at the park when she stumbled upon something truly strange.
This lady's been standing in the same spot looking just like that. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening right now? She's been stuck like that for 5 minutes.
She spotted another woman standing a short distance away, completely motionless. At first, it seemed unremarkable. Maybe she was lost in thought. But as the seconds turned into minutes, it became eerie. This woman had moved a muscle for over 5 minutes. It wasn't just a casual stillness either. Her posture, expression, everything about her looked frozen in time like a living statue. Interestingly, this isn't the first time such bizarre incidents have been reported. Stories of people stuck in time, seemingly frozen in place, are often labeled as matrix glitches. But what's behind these mysterious moments? Could it be a neurological condition, a strange optical illusion, or something even more baffling? Maybe it's a crack in reality itself, a brief peek behind the curtain of existence as we know it. What do you think? A simple coincidence, or proof that our world might not be as solid as it seems? Let's hear your thoughts.
This lady's been standing in the same spot looking just like that. Oh my gosh, what the hell is happening right now? She's been stuck like that for 5 minutes.
Next up, we've got this clip that's left many in the paranormal community puzzled. Take a look. Tell me you saw the shadow move. Just in case you were distracted by the beautiful damsel in the first take, move your eyes to the right of the screen. There's even an arrow to make it easier. Something moves in those shadows that has this ghostly, ethereal feel to it. It's almost as though it were waiting for the lady to leave, so it moves. And the room the lady came from appears to be its target. It does appear to be humanoid, albeit a little smaller than the lady. I know that you are wondering what that is, and this is usually the part where I tell you what it is, but today I simply don't have the answers. In other words, I don't know what that is. It might be a ghost, it might be something else. One thing I'm certain of, though, is that I would love to hear your thoughts. Care to share yours in the comments section? In Weeki Wachee, Florida, a family woke up to a terrifying sight. A massive sinkhole just a few meters from their home. Look at that. The sinkhole is said to be the least 50 feet deep and almost feels surreal to imagine. But as shocking as it looks, it's not entirely unexpected. You see, Florida sits on aquifers. These are underground layers of water. When the water drains, the ground above can easily collapse, creating sinkholes. Another factor is that Florida's land is mostly made up of limestone, which dissolves over time, especially if the water in the soil becomes acidic. Over time, these conditions can lead to dramatic events like this. So while it looks like something out of a movie, it's actually a combination of natural processes that caused it. But it's still shocking to wake up one morning to find a sinkhole in your front yard.
There's nothing there. It's like not a piece of hair, but it's like this line. I know I'm not crazy. What is that?
This next one I'm gonna need your help with. A lady allegedly noticed a line in her pool. If you know anything about water, you know lines don't just form in it unless there's something in it to cause the line or something above it to cause a reflection. If you watch the clip, you should see the lines, but here's where it gets tricky. The lady insists none of the factors I mentioned earlier exist. The line just appeared over the water. I have a hard time pushing this one down, but well, maybe, just maybe you guys can help us make sense of it.
There's nothing there. It's like not a piece of hair, but it's like this line. I know I'm not crazy. What is that?
Hey! 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 Oh my God!
An elderly couple set out for a peaceful fishing trip, but it turned into a heart-pounding ordeal. As they were on their boat, they noticed a massive ship heading straight toward them. One of them quickly realized the danger, shouting and waving to get the ship's attention, but nothing worked. With no other choice, they jumped overboard just in time before the ship crashed into their small boat. The entire incident was captured on their boat's camera, showing the terrifying collision. What could have caused this near-tragic event? Was the ship's captain asleep at the wheel, or was it an autopilot malfunction? Thankfully, the couple escaped unscathed.
Hey! 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 Oh my God!
Oh, here's another one right here. You see him? Flying right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
A family in California saw this peculiar-looking star moving in the sky using night vision glasses. The strange-looking stars were moving in the clouds as the people used green lasers to follow their movement. At a certain point, it blinked light and continued moving. It's pretty obvious by now that that is not a star up there. Some netizens said it was a drone. Someone also says it's a UFO, but not an alien, just something in the sky. And some were very certain that this was an alien, even going further to say they have been seeing them all the time. What do you think, though? Alien or something else entirely? Share your thoughts.
Flying right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it flashed.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, it just flashed.
I'm lasering at him.
Our next clip opens up with an unusual object falling from the sky. The object appears to be a glowing cloud-like mass resembling a balloon more than a typical cloud. It's purple with an orange, fiery color and has a strange, unexplainable shape. The object can be seen rotating in the sky as it moves. At first, many thought it could be something otherworldly, perhaps a UFO. Looking at the clip, it's understandable why they think that. It looks like something that will come out from a spaceship or something alien. While many were buying into the idea, members of the scientific community stated that it could be wreckage from one of the SpaceX launches that were ejected into space and are now falling back to Earth. Looking at the clip, this looks like the more plausible explanation for what we are seeing. Either that or there's some serious alien camouflage.
No. Si vieron lo que era hace muchos años, pero resulta que... Hijo de su puta madre, ¿qué es esa?
You must be wondering who this woman is. Well, let's just say the first time I watched the clip, I wondered too. A few seconds into the clip, I got my answer. She's one of those individuals who like to dare spirits to show themselves if they are real. Why do I say that? Well, she visited an area that's known to be haunted by a little girl. Nobody knows the story behind the girl haunting the place, but she wanted to see it for herself. So, she walked around the area, filming herself talking, hoping this little girl would show up. Surely enough, she noticed that there was a girl, or at least the spirit of a girl following her. She eventually left the place to attend a party with her brother. The party was going great till she noticed the spirit had followed her there. She panicked but didn't want to ruin the party for everyone. She didn't tell anyone till it was over. Funny enough, this spirit did nothing other than let the lady know she had followed her. Do you think she's forgiven her, or was that just a warning to let the lady know she knows where she lives? Please share your thoughts.
No. ¿Sí vieron lo que era? Hace muchos años, pero resulta que... Hijo de su puta madre, ¿qué es eso?
Rafa, não é busca meu. Ficha aí, cara, eu falei, mano. Pega o bagulho, pega, Rafa. Ai. Na facada, Rafa. Caralho, mano.
This footage is definitely something out of a horror film. 3 men running frantically in the woods, one being overtaken by a bizarre creature. It's the kind of thing that keeps you on edge. According to the description, the creature is bipedal with a dog-like snout, attacking one of the men while his friend grabs a knife to defend him. However, as dramatic as it sounds, the setup raises a few red flags. The shaky camera work, the convenient timing of the attack, and the unclear visuals often point to something staged. It's not uncommon for people to create such footage for viral content or entertainment purposes. While it's certainly chilling and imaginative, the lack of clarity and over-the-top details make it feel less like a genuine encounter and more like a scripted event. What do you think? A real encounter or an attempt to create the next urban legend?
Vem, tá mordendo, vem. Desgraça, que isso? Você deu facada, Rafa, você deu facada. Eu dou uma facada nele, mano, ele morreu. Vem, Vinícius, tá saindo bem. Roubaram meu carro. Vamos, Vinícius, vamos, você tá bem.
In a small town located in South Africa, an unusual and fascinating creature was spotted by some residents. According to eyewitnesses, the creature appeared to be a mermaid with a blue fish tail. It was seen above the water, and it raises its tail before dropping back into the water and swimming away. Conversations about these creatures always start a debate, and this was no different. While some people believe that mermaids are real, others are convinced that they're simply a myth and don't exist. Some viewers even suggest that the creature in question might have been a siren instead of a mermaid, as sirens are also known to inhabit the ocean and have similar traits to mermaids. Despite the debate, many viewers who saw the footage of the mermaid were adamant that it was a genuine sighting and that the creature was, in fact, a mermaid. However, some skeptics argued that it was likely a person in a costume and the footage could have been staged. Looking at the unnatural way it moves in the water, I'm tempted to believe it's true, but that's perhaps just me. What do you think about this fascinating sighting? Do you believe it's the real deal, or do you think that it's just a hoax? Share your thoughts. A group of fishermen had a unique catch recently that has left many intrigued. They managed to catch a landsfish from the ocean, which is a rare species of fish that is not often seen. The fish was long and slender with a silver body that shimmered in the sunlight. Its most notable feature was a set of long fins on its back that resembled a sail, giving it a distinctive appearance. Despite its striking appearance, the fishermen were initially unsure what type of fish it was. Some speculated that it could be a hybrid of a barracuda and a sailfish. Looking at it, I can see why they think that. Someone even said that it was a result of underwater nuclear testing. However, after some research, we confirmed that it was truly a lancetfish. For those unfamiliar with it, it's a deep-sea fish that is known to live at depths of up to 1,500 meters. They're known for their elongated and slender bodies, sharp teeth, and long dorsal fin that runs the length of their body. They're often found in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and are known to be formidable predators, feeding on a variety of smaller fish and squid. Cool, huh?
That's a gnarly...
See you later, bud.
Am I glitching? Or what's going on? What? Who copied and pasted what?
I'm not exactly sure what to say about this. The individual who sent it in insists it's a glitch and that their traffic lights aren't set up like this. Personally, I think that's a lot of traffic lights for such a simple road, but hey, it's an interesting world out there. Perhaps there's somewhere on this planet where this traffic setup is normal. Can the experts here chip in? If there's not a place like this, can we all agree this is one of the weirdest glitches that we've ever seen on this channel?
Am I glitching? Or what's going on? What? Who copied and pasted what?
Speaking of two-faced individuals, have you seen trees with faces? No? Take a look.
There's the moon. But look at the trees. Don't they seem like they have faces?
Tell me I'm not the only one seeing things. You see these faces on the trees too, right? Well, that's not normal now, well, is it? According to the individual who uploaded the clip, he had noticed the phenomenon for a while now and thought he was just seeing things. He then decided to record instances when he would see trees with faces and share them online. Surely enough, once he began sharing, others did too, which led to a long thread of trees with faces. What do you guys think about this? Do these trees have some sort of special abilities? Are they sentient? Are they spying on us? Or are we just seeing things due to pareidolia? Feel free to share your thoughts on this one.
There's the moon. But look at the trees. Don't they seem like they have faces?
A man was passing by a field when something caught his eye. Something odd. The horses in the field were just standing there completely still. At first, he didn't think much of it, but as he continued to watch, they remained frozen in place for far longer than would seem natural. It looked so unreal, like time itself had paused around them. The horses were in the same positions, unmoving, almost like a scene from a movie where the characters were caught in a glitch. It felt eerily like a glitch in the Matrix. What do you think? We've seen aliens before, and this clip is no different. In the clip, we see what looks like a grey alien exploring our lands. A few seconds in, and we see its ship among others. A few years ago, this would have been very exciting, but today many who saw this clip believe it's just AI generated. I'm not saying every alien clip is AI generated, but there's something about this one we just can't seem to shake off. We looked at it several times, and even Aaron is starting to think this particular one is AI generated. You've seen the clip for yourselves. What do you think? This is one of the most bizarre glitches I have ever seen. A car, completely wrecked, veered off the road onto the pavement. The damage is extensive. The front bumper and headlights are gone, the hood is crumpled, and the side of the car that hit the pavement is severely damaged. But here's where it gets strange. Somehow there's a pole lodged straight through the windshield and into the driver's seat. But what's odd is that this pole was fixed to the ground firmly in place before the accident. There's no indication that the car drove into the pole or that it could have been uprooted and thrown into the windshield. This leaves us with a baffling question. How could this even happen? Did the car somehow phase into the pole, or was it an unexplainable glitch? Any physicist here to help us? We kick off today's episode with this head scratcher. What do you guys think we're looking at? At first glance, it looks like the camera is probably positioned across a light source, right? It turns out that's the case. The individual who uploaded this clip stated that he was going through his security cam footage when he noticed one of the clips that had this. Oh, what's this, you ask? Well, he doesn't know. He insists that there's no light source directly facing the camera and that this is a bright orb, if we can call it that just showed up and remained in that position for about 30 minutes before it disappeared. Within that 30 minutes, it made the lights in the home flicker for a bit. He's convinced this might be some alien tech or portal. When he uploaded the clip, a number of individuals felt the same. The rest believe he's just messing with the masses for his 5 minutes of fame. But what do you also think? While you guys share your thoughts on that, prepare to share your thoughts on this clip recorded in Mexico as well. So the clip opens up with a couple of lights in the sky that appear to be moving and changing shapes. The light starts off being red, then slowly transforms to green before switching to white. All these happen while the lights appear to be moving and changing shape. The individual who is recording this appears to have been on a date and is very confused. I mean, who wouldn't be? After a few seconds, the lights move away and eventually descend. Once this was uploaded online, the paranormal community almost unanimously agreed that we're dealing with a UFO, probably a mothership. Many said the lights we are seeing could have been around its engine or even thrusters, which is why they were changing shape ever so often. The community believes the ship may have also landed in Mexico, which is why it kept descending till it was out of sight. That does sound like an elaborate and detailed hypothesis, but that can also only be true if the clip is genuine. So what do you think? Is this the real deal, or were there red flags you simply can't ignore? A strange home surveillance video from Ecuador has surfaced showing what some believe to be a miniature creature caught in a scuffle with the family's cat. In the footage, the cat grabs the creature by its leg and shakes it violently, clearly agitated. Despite the attack, the tiny creature manages to free itself and quickly flees the scene. Some locals claim that the creature was a duende. According to folklore, cats have an innate intolerance for duendes, often attacking them on sight. Whether it was truly a duende or something else, the incident has certainly sparked curiosity and fueled more speculation about these mysterious beings. What do you think? Could this really be a duende, or is there another explanation? Birds are beautiful creatures, sure, but sometimes they seem to have other plans. Imagine this. A woman is casually holding her phone, filming herself, when suddenly, out of nowhere, a bird dives straight at her face. She barely dodges it in time. Before you brush it off as an innocent mistake, let's look at it in slow motion. The bird's flight path, laser focused on her eyes. It's almost as if it had a vendetta. A perfectly normal day turns into a new phobia unlocked. Fear of birds going straight to your face, or worse, your eyes. So the next time you see a bird flying a bit too close, maybe duck. You never know if it's just flying by or trying to make you its next target. This unsettling footage circulating on social media has sparked widespread debate. It shows a man entering a bedroom only to encounter a bizarre creature on the bed. The creature appears to have a clown-like face, the small stature of a child, and moves on all fours. Most disturbingly, it has a reptilian tail that sways unnervingly as it moves. While the footage looks startlingly realistic, many believe it to be AI-generated or heavily edited using CGI. With the advancements in AI and deepfake technology, creating lifelike yet fictional imagery has become increasingly accessible, making it challenging to discern authenticity. What do you think? Could this footage be a clever fabrication or something else entirely? Recently, a group of people on a boat ride in a river came across an alligator making its way toward them. The passengers began filming the scene because, well, why not? But as the alligator got closer, the situation became increasingly tense. They noticed he was out for blood. Without warning, the alligator leapt out of the water, clearly attempting to get into the boat or at least grab one of the passengers. Naturally, the passengers were taken aback and quickly backed away as the reptile landed on the side of the boat and then fell off. Alligators are massive in size, with an average length of 13 feet and can weigh up to 1,000 pounds. However, they're also known to be dangerous predators, capable of causing serious harm to humans and animals alike. Thankfully, no one was hurt. If you intend to visit a place with gators, let this be your cue to be extra safe out there. Take a moment to admire the sheer size and beauty of the Tibetan Mastiff, a truly magnificent breed of dog. With its thick, long, and luxurious brown fur, muscular build, and regal appearance, this breed is considered one of the largest dogs in the world. Originated from the lofty mountains of Tibet, these majestic canines have been bred for centuries to guard livestock and property and are known for their courage, loyalty, and independence. They're highly intelligent and have a strong protective instinct, making them excellent watchdogs. The Tibetan Mastiffs are calm and patient, but they can be stubborn at times. They require plenty of exercise and mental stimulation to stay healthy and happy. They're also known to be quite vocal and will bark loudly if they sense any potential threats. Despite their imposing size and appearance, the Tibetan Mastiff is a gentle and loving breed that thrives with human companionship. They're great with children and make loyal and protective family pets. Whether you're a dog lover or simply appreciate the beauty and majesty of nature's creatures, the Tibetan Mastiff is truly a sight to behold. We still don't have the more convincing answer for our previous bonus question, but maybe this one might change that. Can anyone tell if this is real or fake? If it's real, what's its real name, and why does it look like that? Let's see how many of us can tell a conspiracy theory from the truth. All the best.
If you're in one of these alien crafts,
that's what you're gonna see.
You're gonna see exactly this. Not an exaggeration. Not some type of Hollywood mock-up from a first-hand witness.
Now this one actually had me puzzled for a long while. He claims this is exactly what you would find on an alien spaceship. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. This is crazy. Well, if you said that, then it's only because you don't know who that man is. Meet Bob Lazar, a controversial figure who claims to have worked on reverse engineering alien spacecraft at the secure facility called S4, allegedly near Area 51 in the late 1980s. He's described advanced propulsion systems using Element 115, which he said powered the craft through anti-gravity technology by bending space-time. Despite his claims sparking widespread interest in UFOs and Area 51, Lazar's credibility is hotly debated due to inconsistencies in his educational and professional background, which critics attribute to fabrication, while supporters believe it's part of a government cover-up. His story remains a cornerstone of modern UFO lore, blending intrigue, skepticism, and speculation about extraterrestrial technology and government secrecy. If his stories are true, then perhaps he's really been in a spaceship and knows what the interior is. If not, then, well, let's not talk about that. On to the next clip.
If you're in one of these alien crafts,
That's what you're gonna see.
you're gonna see exactly this. Not an exaggeration, not some type of Hollywood mock-up from a
Exactly.
first-hand witness.
Behold the mesmerizing serpent captured in the lens of fascination, a horned snake with orange skin. Its back is covered in spikes like a dragon from ancient stories deciding to show up in the form of this amazing snake-like marvel. It's like a mythical creature coming to life. At first glance, one might entertain the notion of a horned puff adder, but no, this snake is something else entirely. It's not your regular snake, it's like a mystery in itself. With majestic proportions and all these intricate spikes covering its slithery body, what type of snake is this? But hold on, here's a twist. We can't rule out that this might just be a fake snake created with technology. You know, people can pull off some pretty convincing illusions these days, so the mystery might be more about how it was made rather than what it actually is. During a beautiful sunset, someone captured this. It looks like tiny insects swamped up in the sunset, but is this even possible? If it were, what kind of insects could do that? The original poster believes that they could be cicadas, but a commenter suggested that they could be wasps. Others in the paranormal community and in this post stated they observed wasps acting odd during the eclipse. I did some digging around and found an explanation. Apparently, wasps are more active during the daytime when it's warmer and there's more light, so if an eclipse temporarily reduces the amount of light, they might become less active or confused. Some insects and animals might even behave as if it's dusk or nighttime during an eclipse, which could affect their foraging patterns and other behaviors. Could this be what happened to the wasps these individuals observed? Very likely. Could what we are seeing in the clip be wasps? I'll leave that up to you to decide. A man was out late one night, and as he rounded a curb, he noticed something unusual on the road ahead. It was a humanoid figure walking along the street. While it resembled a human in shape, its texture and appearance were ethereal, almost ghostly. The man quietly observed and filmed the figure as it moved away, its eerie presence lingering in the atmosphere. Was this a wandering spirit, a ghost, or something else entirely? Encounters like these often leave more questions than answers, but what do you think this could be? An observer at the beach captured a group of geese flying gracefully over the sea. They started in formation, shifting midway into a straight line. So far, nothing unusual, right? But then, mid-flight, the geese just vanish into thin air. Looking back at the footage, it's clear there's no mist clouds or obstructions that could explain their disappearance. One moment they're there, and the next, it's like they were erased. Could this be a glitch in the simulation, as some suggest, or perhaps a natural optical illusion caused by light refraction over the water? man set out to an abandoned structure deep in the woods in the middle of the night. As he explored the eerie place, passing by an old glass window, something caught his eye. It was a sudden, subtle movement inside. It was a creature crouched down with a small pale head. The sight was enough to freak him out, causing him to flee immediately. Now, looking back at the footage, it's hard to make out exactly what the creature is. Its shape and movements are so subtle, almost ghost-like. Could it be a rake, known for its pale and humanoid appearance, or maybe a skinwalker, one of those shape-shifting entities from Native American folklore? Some are even speculating it could be a completely different type of cryptid. Take a closer look. What do you think this strange figure could be? Now, there are moments when humans are pushed far beyond normal limits, extreme cold, total isolation, near death, and in those moments, something strange keeps showing up. People call it the third man phenomenon. It seems to appear only when humans are pushed to the absolute edge of survival, in moments where life and death hang in the balance. People across history have reported the same strange experience, a calm, unseen presence guiding them through danger. It's never frantic or frightening. Instead, it feels intelligent, reassuring, and deliberate. Polar explorer Ernest Shackleton famously wrote about sensing an extra companion walking with his team as they crossed Antarctica. Soldiers describe it even more vividly. Veterans from World War I and World War II, as well as modern combat troops, have spoken about a presence on the battlefield telling them when to move, where to run, or when to stay still. Firefighters, sailors, and mountaineers report the same thing. An invisible guide that appears only when survival is on the line. The official explanation is psychological. Scientists argue that extreme stress, trauma, or lack of oxygen can cause the brain to split awareness as a survival response. In this view, the mind creates a guiding presence to maintain focus and suppress panic, a hallucination designed to keep the body alive. But this explanation starts to fall apart under closer inspection. Many people claim the presence gives them information they could not have known, or guided groups of people have sensed the same thing at the same time. Hallucinations are meant to be personal and disorganized. These encounters are calm, structured, and eerily consistent. It's not a recent thing. Ancient soldiers spoke of guardian spirits in battle. Religious texts describe angels guiding warriors. Indigenous cultures tell stories of ancestral protectors appearing in moments of crisis. Different cultures, different eras, yet the same experience. If this is only the brain, well, why does it appear only at the edge of death? And why does it feel separate from the self? And above all, how do we people have access to information that shouldn't be there in their brains? Well, maybe it's hidden survival system buried deep within human consciousness. Or maybe it's something external stepping in only when we're about to be lost. The real question is not why the third man appears, but why it disappears the moment we're safe again. Anyway, what do you think? Now, I know exactly how this feels. I got into some real trouble once when I was in Turkey on a motorcycle trip adventure and got pulled off my bike by a bunch of guys with guns. And I can clearly remember so well feeling suddenly very, very, very calm and thinking that there was someone there with me that was just gonna make everything okay, and finally it was. So I really do believe in this. Anyway, tell me what you think. But with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go other clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't, well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor and share this with everybody that you love. And just share it with everybody. See you in the next one.